Okay, Camden Hot Ones, Legion Hot Ones.
Let's go.
We got Bennett on the show today. Bennett, happy to have you.
Cam, happy you're here.
Thanks,
Let's do
man.
this thing.
Cheers.
First and foremost, how about that?
Sounds good. This is going to be my first and final drink for the remainder. So I've stayed undefeated so far.
I'm not gonna make the same claim.
Now we are once again switching it up. After doing another one with some more friends, we have now decided to move the bomb to just number 10. It's just it's where it needs to be. We're keeping things honest. We have a special guest here. This is actually a sauce, and I'll kind of get a little bit closer. This is actually a sauce that Bennett made. So we are going to feature that. After some taste testing, I think it's a pretty good 3 position. So let's go ahead and start the first one.
Let's go.
This is the classic. It is kind of similar to how I felt about your hot sauce. Oops. One thing we'll want to do is get napkins for sure.
Got it.
There you go.
So this is just like a Frank's Red Hot or kind of thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, it's a different flavor than Frank's Red Hot. It is...
It's got a texture to it.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you. I got some kitchen towel too if you want.
Yeah, if you want to do kitchen towels, you can do that. Thanks, sir. So, starting it off. You ready?
I'm ready for the easy one, yeah. Let's go.
We are doing boneless wings again. I love doing boneless wings. No shame in my game.
It makes it easier.
Yeah. I'm like...
It gets in your mouth, not on your face.
Right. This one, so the heat very much up front, and then quickly dies off. So
There's flavor there, though.
Yeah. Hot ones, they make good hot sauces. You know, this one, I say it every time. This one's like one of my favorite hot sauces out there. Los Calientes, number 5. But this is a great classic. It's good. Lives up to the name. So first and foremost, I asked everybody this question, but tell everybody where you're from.
That's a loaded question. I grew up in Ohio. I grew up in Cincinnati, in the suburbs of Cincinnati, about halfway between Cincy and Dayton, about 30 minutes outside of Beach. But right in the middle, big suburbs, big city, or big school district. And none of my family was from Ohio.
Really?
My mom's side's all from the Carolinas. My dad's side's Alabama, Georgia.
And don't mind me, I just get the next
Do
one
you think?
lined up.
I loved growing up in Cincinnati. I loved the big city.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the amount of activity that you have, the blend of people.
Yeah.
There's a big German culture in Cincinnati. But I mean, I was in a big school district. I went to church on the other side of town. I played a lot of sports. So I got to see and be exposed to a lot of people. And I loved it. I just didn't like Ohio.
Yeah.
And my parents, and like I said, everybody was from the South. And when I have a twin brother, and when we graduated high school, we both went off to college. And my parents moved to South Carolina, which is where I was born. So it's one of those, where were you from?
Like, no, I get it.
Born in South Carolina, but...
My dad's the same way. He was born in Danville, Virginia. But he'll tell you he's from Clemson, South Carolina. You know?
And I mean, but I haven't lived in Cincinnati for more than half my life now. Once I had left Cincinnati, I went to school at Alabama.
Yeah.
And then I've moved to Birmingham, Charlotte, Asheville, Greenville.
And is your brother in North Carolina?
He's in South Carolina,
Okay.
Greenville.
Gotcha.
Yep, straight up 85, 2 hours. Same with my parents.
Yeah.
And again, they've been there 20 years. My brother's been there somewhere around there. And I lived there for a while as well. I love Greenville. Great town.
Just so people know, this is a fun fact. I wasn't going to bring it up, but Bennett is actually a twin. He has an identical twin. I got to meet him. It's pretty hard to tell the difference.
You did get to meet him, didn't you?
Yeah. But yeah. All right, so this is the second one. This one, once again, just really good flavor. It's kind of like a green Thai chili.
Angry goat pepper. So
Yeah.
that's the name of
The sauce, I don't know if
avocado and kiwi hot sauce.
Yeah.
It sounds like a bitch hot sauce.
Yeah,
I mean, avocado blands everything
Right.
down. Kiwi, fruity.
I love
Did you
the
guys
idea.
me up? No.
No, I didn't.
I kind of feel like I could go a little bit extra in this one.
Yeah, you can. It's a good sauce.
It's like sauce.
Yeah, it's like a
That's
salsa.
awesome.
All right. And even though I know it's still running, it's just like a visual thing for me.
Sure.
All right.
I'm with you.
So, next one is, my tattoo question. Do you have any tattoos?
It's funny you said. I don't.
Nobody on the show has any tattoos.
I don't, but I have spent hours in the chair.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, again, for whatever reason, I don't know. There's a really famous little district in Clifton that's famous for these tattoo artists.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now, we got Ink Master and all these TV shows and stuff, but even still, back in the day and even now, Cincinnati had kind of a thing for the really talented tattoo guys. So I knew a lot of guys that were getting back pieces when I was 17, 18 years old. I watched a lot of tattoos. I've even here in Atlanta and across the Southeast, I've sat and watched. And when I had TV, I never missed an episode of Ink Master. I love the art. It's that thing, man. It's not the pain.
Yeah.
It's the commitment.
Yeah.
Because I can go back and, we were talking about this earlier. I write a lot and I go back and I say, man, I wish I would have gotten that Grateful Dead tattoo or something. And now I'm like, I still love the Dead, but no. I wouldn't want a dead bear on my forehead.
Right.
Whatever it was that I was thinking, I've got sketches.
What's the closest tattoo that you came to getting? Like, what's the one that you were like, man, this might be it.
One of my, and it's kind of the core values kind of thing for me is balance.
Yeah. So
yin yang, black white, light dark, we all have it.
Yeah.
There's no any person that's completely pure white or completely pure dark. It's both, and you have to accept both, and it doesn't have to be 50-50, but always in my life I recognize that balance. The dark helps you appreciate the light, and so I thought about all these things for how to envision that, and I started drawing a fire and ice yin yang.
Yeah.
And granted, it wasn't just a fireball and an ice ball; it was thorough and detailed, but that was going to be it. I mean, I was dead set, and I had sketches abroad, and I was going to do it in a big piece on the back of my left shoulder. And it was funny. I actually talked to my life coach about it, and she kind of talked me out of it.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, it was still my decision, but it was more just, maybe wait, and I'm still. That's still the one that I probably want to get.
If you do get one,
yeah,
you're gonna get one. Nice.
But I can't help but appreciate. I love good art.
Yeah.
It's art. It's music. It's food. Anybody that kind of creates like that is always a passion for me. And I'm not afraid of the pain. I'm not. And the guitar here. I'm just hesitant to make that commitment. Not about regret. It's just it's a commitment.
Yeah. No, I get it. My
mind changes all the time.
I know. Growing up, man, you wouldn't believe I was gonna get like one that went across like that, and it was gonna be so bad. But anyway, so this sauce here, and great segue talking about the art because I got my next question here. But this is the one that Bennett did. It's very vinegar based, and
it's a good white wine vinegar. I always like I make hot sauces, bitters, salsas, things like that. And when I do something like this, it's, we talked about this earlier. I always like to use good ingredients. So it's good vinegar. It's a little bit of honey from my buddy's farm. He's a farmer and he's got honeybees, and we get the honey from them. Nice. And then, I mean, it's maybe half a tablespoon of that. And then it's serrano peppers. Yeah. So I let them get really good and ripe, and then cook them down, simmer them down. It's not terribly hot. You're right. It's heavy on the vinegar, which is something I like with greens and stuff like that. Right. Not exactly it's not going to coat a wing or anything like that. But it's got good flavor. It's got good ingredients. It's simple and something different.
I'll let you figure out how you want to do it. I tried pouring it on there, and it went everywhere.
I don't really care. I like making more of the same, so if it goes everywhere, that's fine.
There you go. Nice. That was way more successful, I feel like, than mine.
Let that one soak in there.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't. I mean, there's going to be a little heat to it, but it's not going to. If this is the one that gets you, then you wouldn't have been doing this already.
That is good flavor. It's even better. I mean, tasting it by itself, but then having it like with food. That's a nice sauce. So this next question is: when I came in, I saw a painting that I was really kind of taken with, and I told Bennett that was a cool painting, and he told me that it was, what is it?
It's performance art, if you want to put it that way.
So this painting is, I mean, immaculate to me. And so we talk about it, and then come to find out, and Bennett, I'll let you tell the folks.
So, a girl bought the canvas. I think it was for Valentine's Day. And we had a spare bedroom that was empty, and essentially it's you roll around in the paint on the canvas to make the art. So we taped it up and we put the sheeting down and set the mood and had the lights and played the music and put 5 or 6 good wrestling sessions onto that piece of art. But I love it. I mean, it's got
I mean, it looks.
it's got character.
It's crazy.
It's got the blood of the artists in it, among other things. But everybody really likes it, and sometimes I'm hesitant to tell them anything about it.
No, I think that's awesome.
Now the world knows.
That is like Bennett's now the most interesting that I know. All right, so this one is actually at first you see, of course, hot peppers, garlic. You're like, okay, and sometimes you stop reading there. But if you go on, it has grapefruit, it has carrots in it. So this one, it'll kind of get you. You're gonna have to let me know where you stand here. To me, it's just good flavor.
Where's our rating here?
So this one on their show is number 3.
But it doesn't have the Scoville units on.
No,
I wondered if that was like standard practice.
Yeah.
Like a beer, you have to put the ABV on there, right? You have to know how much alcohol is in it. It's a requirement.
So sometimes they do on, of course, like, let me see, the bomb. Like this one puts typically when you're making a hot sauce, these people are like, somebody like if we were making a hot sauce, we would probably make a sauce very much like this, you or I. And because we're going for the flavor, we want a little bit of the heat, but we're not trying to die.
Yeah.
When you get things like the bomb, they put it on there like 136,000 Scoville because they want you.
That's a flex, right?
Flex.
I mean, this
flex.
I kind of want to know just to have perspective.
So, I want to say,
but they're not trying to flex.
Right.
They're not trying to break any borders here.
We're around 16,000 Scoville.
Okay.
This is like I want to say like 5,700. I could be wrong totally, but I'll look it up later. But this one's like around 16,000. Really, it starts jumping dramatically from after this one. Like, I mean, this one is around like I want to say 50-something thousand. Then we hit like 60,000. Then it jumps to this one. What was this one? Like this was like 90,000.
And that's when you start breaking down.
Yeah, you start breaking down here, and then this is like 210,000, and this one's 136,000. So that's where it gets confusing because like 210,000. I mean, it's still hot, but this one just gets you. It hurts,
But this is when you want to start to flex.
Yeah.
Right? These are the guys that are going to say, hey, we got good flavor, but you need to know how good we are.
Like, this one just tastes like straight up Tabasco to me. I'm interested to see what you say about that one, but, like, even this one, I don't think this one's putting its, like, Scoville, because if you did put it on there, and it was something that wasn't like 90,000, people are gonna be like, why would you even put it on there? Weird flex,
it's just one of those. It's like with beer and so many other things. I always want to know, because it is hot sauce. It's not saying it's anything else.
Yeah.
Vinegar, sunflower seeds. I mean, it sounds great. Small batch, Denver.
Yeah.
So it's cool, but it's still hot sauce.
It's still
There's part of me that says, if you're gonna make a hot sauce, don't you want to tell people that one measurement that hot sauces maybe should have, but at least a lot of them do have. Again, I don't know how important it is, but flavor's what we need.
Let's do it. Okay. All right. I like that one. Yep. All right.
So I get carrot. I definitely get that sweetness from the carrot.
Yeah.
Not grapefruit.
I don't really get the grapefruit either. And the sunflower seeds, I didn't even know until you said it just now. Now, Bennett, tell me a little bit about, I just learned this when we were talking earlier, but Bennett does, in my disc golf,
yeah.
And I'm just going to kind of straighten up the shot a little bit, but talk a little bit about the disc golf.
So, it's funny, I was having a really similar conversation last night, where I kind of came to a realization that I really just like target sports.
Okay.
Not specifically just target sports, but I definitely have a lean towards hitting a target, whether it's darts or pool or baseball. I love being a pitcher.
Yeah.
But it wasn't always about throwing strikes. Sometimes you wanted to hit that high outside fastball. And this was your target. It's always about hitting that target. I loved golf. I loved the mentality of golf, of, the balance between risk and reward. But golf, for me, it's an investment. It's an investment in time. It's an investment in equipment. And I still love golf. It's just I'm much more of a woods guy. Yeah. And disc golf takes you into the woods. Yeah. It's the same mentality. You're playing that risk-reward game. Do I try to hit it or throw it this far at the risk of going in the water or out of bounds somewhere? Yeah. Or do I lay up, get the 4, and beat the other guys who are taking the risk and not succeeding? I love that mentality. It's essentially, I like to tell people, it's hiking with a purpose. Mm-hmm. You're in the woods, you're going up and down, you don't really realize it, but you're putting in a lot of good miles, and you're just playing a game in the meantime. Yeah. My brother took me out right after I graduated college. I thought it was a bunch of hippies throwing frisbees in the woods. I didn't know anything about it. He took me out, and I got a hole in one in my first round. I screamed like a little girl. I lost my mind. But I got hooked. And I got hooked. I started playing doubles.
Dude, what blows my mind about it that I didn't know, I forgot what channel I was watching. It was some obscure, like, ESPN 3 or something.
The Ocho, probably.
Yeah, and it's like, when you start seeing how much these guys are making, like, their annual salaries for that kind of game. They're making, some of them are making some money.
At the top level, you can. So I was big into it. I was competing in a lot of tournaments. There we go. I partnered up with a couple friends of mine. We had a pro shop. We ran events. We had our own clothing line.
Oh, dang. You were, like, super into it.
Yeah. I got a shirt right over here. But I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. And if you wanted to be on that level, if you wanted to compete on the highest level, you had to, like, this is our company, High Fly.
Let's see. High Fly discs. Okay. So just so you guys can see it, you got the High Fly, and then the High Fly disc on the back. Dude, that's awesome.
And so there was kind of a gap in the people that were running events. And so we just took it upon ourselves to do it. A friend of ours had a pool hall next to the place that was empty. Yeah. And he was a big disc golfer. And he said, you guys can use it for basically next to nothing. And I loved it. I moved to Charlotte and we kind of disseminated it. But I was really into it. I was in the World Championships in, I don't remember what year, maybe 7 or 8 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Dude, that's
incredible. But it was a time suck. Yeah. If I was running events, it took a lot of time. Yeah. But if I wanted to compete to get to the World Championships, you basically had to qualify. So you had to do well in a lot of tournaments. Yeah. So it meant a lot of travel. Yeah. And it meant if you want to do well in those tournaments, you got to practice during the week. Yeah. You got to get in your putting hours. You got to get there early and practice the course. So it was all-encompassing. Granted, I loved it. Yeah. But when I got away from it, and I still love to play, it's just I play a lot more casually now. Right. Those weekends when I would drive to Charleston or Louisville or Bowling Green or wherever, where it takes 4 days of your week and then that much travel, I got burned out from it. And now I have a lot more fun. I play with guys that are on my level, that are capable of playing really well if they put the extra time in to practice, but can still play well enough to have a good time and not have to, kind of noob around. Yeah. I still love it, and I probably always will. It's one of those things you can play until you're old.
And, yeah, it's awesome.
It's got a connotation to it, but I don't really care. I love to put something in my hand and throw it as far as I can, as accurately as I can, and I don't care how anybody else feels. I love that feeling.
Let's definitely do it sometime, me and you, because I've never played, and I would love to. Now, this next one, so I went ahead and put sauce on this one. I would tear your next wing in half, because I forgot we only have 10 wings, and we got 11 sauces. Okay. So, I'm going
to mow this bad boy, because I doused it.
Yeah. All right, and this one is Cheap of Gold. This is their number 4. It's it's not too bad. Let me see. Actually, I might be wrong. This might be Los Calientes. Are we on number 5? How many we got left? 1, 2.
This is our 5th.
6. Okay. And
That's the first one with a real kick.
yeah. So this is Cheaper Gold. Yeah. That one.
These had flavor.
Yeah.
There's heat there. This is the difference.
Yeah.
Between heat and kick. That's got kick.
So that one is, I want to say, around like 30,000 Scoville.
Scotch bonnets.
And see, Scotch bonnet. I love Scotch bonnet.
So do I. Cook with them a lot.
There's a Scotch bonnet sauce that's made by, I think the company is called Scotch Bonnet, and that's one of my favorite hot sauces of all time. I had a friend actually give me a bottle for Christmas one year. It was really nice. Now we're doing the deep dive on this one.
I'm kind of looking at this like New York City. If you remember those commercials, like hot sauce from New York. But yeah, I mean, Scotch bonnet. You can tell by the color.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
dude, that's got flavor and heat.
Yeah. Now this next one. So we are on the deep dive. I'm gonna get it pulled up here on my phone.
All right.
Now I'm showing 2 for Bennett as far as the deep dive. Because one, lead gen, we're going to already know one. I'll make that one the first one. But for the folks that don't know Bennett, he has quite a crazy beard every now and then.
That ain't me.
Oh, is that your brother?
No, that's a friend of mine.
Oh, what? I was looking at him. Wow. Man, I got to find one of your friends. Dude, they're all of your friends. Do you have any of you?
Yeah, if you're looking at my Insta, there ought to be. But I don't really have pictures of myself up.
Hang on, here's one. Now, this isn't going to... Oh, yes, this one's perfect. This one's perfect. So, that's perfect to show... sorry, I'm probably yelling. This thing actually picks up really good audio. And I'm probably just screaming.
That's the same weekend that it happened.
Yeah. So, there's that's
the glorious mutton chop sideburns.
Now, so Bennett, he does it. Sometimes he shaves it from time to time. Now, this next one I'm going to show is actually something that I'm genuinely curious about because it looks crazy. Let me see if I can. Here we go. Now, this looks to be, and maybe I should show it to you first. So you can...
Yeah, that's out in the woods.
Yep. So, it's a tent, a lit up tent out in the woods somewhere, which just looks awesome. So,
if I told you where it was, you'd never find it. It's literally out in the middle of nowhere. The last probably 30-35 minutes of the drive is on a gravel road up the mountains. It's off the trail. So
which mountains? Is it Georgia?
Yeah, it's in Georgia. It's probably only about maybe a little over 90 minutes from here, but it's on the trail. And I mean, it's maybe where we camp is only a couple miles from the trail. But everybody that wants to camp on the trail or on the water is there.
Yeah.
We've got this big spot at the top of the mountain that only the Jeep drivers really want to go to. You know, there's nothing up there except we've got like kind of an open prairie, and then it's all just woods and space. But we do that, and we're looking to do that in another month or so. It's fantastic. I love getting out in the woods. You know,
nice.
It's kind of it's cathartic for me. I love being out in nature. I love having the trees here. But
I've seen you do the kayaking thing a lot.
Love it.
You know, so that's awesome. Now this next one is it's typically their number 5. Right now it's our number 6. It's you can go ahead and dab it. I mean, it's this one.
Do I need to split a wing? I'm gonna split this big bad.
Yeah. I figured it's probably good to split these now, so that way we can have more wing later when we're done.
Yeah.
This flavor, I'm curious to know what you think about it. It's just a delicious sauce.
What do we got? Los Calientes.
Los Calientes.
So this is by Hot Ones?
Yeah. Yeah. And on their bottles, if you look on the back, it'll say what number it is. So like on the classic, it'll say 1 out of 10. This one says 5 out of 10. Of course, on the last dab, it says 10 out of 10. So
I always want to know what the peppers are in there.
Yeah, so this one...
It's Serranos, Applewood smoked Serranos, and habaneros.
Yeah.
So I love Serranos. That's, again, what this is.
Yeah.
Smoking obviously does something to it. The habaneros is probably what's going to kick it up a little bit.
I think on the show, they really use this one to kind of like almost cleanse the palate a little bit before going straight into the heat.
All right, let's go.
All right. Super saucy, you know?
There's a sweetness. There's a big sweetness.
I think it's because on this season, probably they knew this one had a little bit of a kick. This one's to kind of ease it, make people think they're okay before going into this one. And this one's just straight, it's Tabasco. It's like Hawaiian Tabasco.
I mean, because that Chiba Gold has a lot more kick than that.
Yeah.
I really like that flavor, but there's not a lot of that kick.
Right. No, it kind of disintegrates it. Now on this one, let's see here. Let's talk about cooking, man. It's a huge thing for you. I know we kind of talked a ton about it already, but like as far as you make bitters, you make your own bitters, you make your own hot sauce. I've seen some of the dishes that you made. I mean, what got you into cooking?
My parents. That's the easy answer, but everybody in my family cooked. You know, my grandmother's cooked, and my aunts cooked, and my uncles cooked, and my parents cooked, and we grew up, like I said, in Ohio, raised by a couple of Southern parents. So we ate, cornbread and okra and fried fish. I remember those things. I remember my friends saying, "What the hell is okra?" Because they're used to Chef Boyardee, and their parents cooked, but it was make a meal kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And granted, my parents they've evolved as cooks as well, but we ate family meal every night. Whether it was chow mein or burgers or catfish, we ate together every night. And I don't necessarily have like a lot of memories of standing by the stove or anything.
Yeah.
I just know I always liked to cook. I'm an artist. I like to be creative, and I always have seen food as kind of another extension. What's
if you can pinpoint it? I don't know if you can. I can tell you by far myself, the most favorite thing I've ever cooked. Like not just like what it may not be something that you cook frequently, but what's the most proud of a dish you've ever made?
That got me, Cam. I don't know. Most proud, because I've cooked. I like to get some nicer ingredients and make a restaurant style, 3 Michelin star dish.
Yeah.
But I like. Lately, I've been really enjoying flank steak.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do it because I do a really good chimichurri, and I've kind of not perfected, but I've gotten a lot better with the recipe on my side for the chimichurri.
Yeah.
I get really good flank steak, and and then learning how to cook it right, and just get it right. You can feed a ton of people with it, and everybody always goes. And this is why you cook for other people, and part of it is when they react.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing, and the most rewarding thing, at least recently, is the chimichurri. What is that? How do you say that?
Yeah.
What's in it? Yeah. What else could I use this on? I'm like, put it on your eggs. It's it's herbs and vinegar and they're like
chimichurri and eggs is like
it's so good.
If you get a good steak and eggs with chimichurri, I was actually watching Top Chef. I was watching Chopped Kids earlier, which is really funny. But a guy made a flank steak with chimichurri, which is pretty crazy.
There's a picture of that in that Instagram in there. My favorite thing to do though is I love these things, the hot sauces and learning those kind of things. I'm learning to ferment stuff. I'm making my own pickles.
It's an addictive process. My friend who is now the sous chef at Kimball House what got him into cooking was fermentation. He went out to San Francisco and started doing kimchi and just got totally addicted. And in a weird way, he's the one that kind of got me into cooking. Yeah. But yeah, so this is just extra. But once all this is over, I got some friends that we're gonna do a dinner club, and the goal is to start hitting these restaurants that we're hearing all this stuff about. All these lists are coming out, and so the first one that I think we're gonna do is Gun Show. So if you'd like to come
Rub me in, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Now this one, once again, this is where for some people I'm sure the heat starts here, but I don't. If you've ever had Tabasco, it's almost exactly the same.
Kaloha Kid?
Yeah.
So, okay, Hawaii. That was an easy guess. Hawaiian. Okay, what's a Hawaiian pepper? Hawaiian and ghost pepper. So we know ghost peppers.
Yeah, but I mean, when you smell it.
Oh, hey.
It just smells just like Tabasco.
No, it smells like Tabasco with a little bit of brake fluid. There's some kick there, too. It's the vinegar and brightness of Tabasco, but there's definitely a smell of this has a little bit more than Tabasco.
Well, and I've actually never looked up what a Hawaiian pepper is. That's actually interesting. I'll try to see what we can figure out about that.
And so you say Tabasco. It's another thing that I felt like I got from my dad. And I may be way off on this. Is that I remember he always had the tiny little bottle of Tabasco
Mhm.
sauce. And I remember thinking, that was the stuff.
You
That
always
was
put it in the
hot, but I
college.
liked it, and I didn't know, but I still don't really think about it. But was it a Southern thing? Was it my dad just likes hot stuff, or?
I'm a Texas Pete guy. I did have my fourth grade teacher was a lot like your dad. Always had the bottle of Tabasco. Actually, I've been to the Tabasco farms.
Really?
And they do the little Baton Rouge red stick thing where that's how they know the pepper's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Just over the years with Tabasco, I don't know. I prefer like Frank's Red Hot or Texas Pete on like just a normal everyday thing.
But to me, those two are pretty interchangeable.
Yeah.
Tabasco is definitely different from those two.
Yeah.
And I like, if you look in my fridge, those are the ones that I keep to make like buffalo style wings.
Yeah.
Not Tabasco.
Right.
Tabasco has a little bit more of that vinegar to it, a little bit more of that shine.
And I like more of that, like almost like that butter.
Yeah.
I love
those hot sauces definitely. I don't think they're interchangeable.
Right.
It's like Frank's and Tabasco. It's like, no, dude, they're different.
They're different. Tabasco definitely has its own flavor. Now, let's see here. So with this one, now I see you got some guitars over here.
I do.
think we can see them in. And so, what got you into guitars, man? What got you into playing? Was that your dad as well, or is that something that you saw and you were like, I want to know how to do that?
My parents definitely got us into music.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean like good music. We went obviously on a lot of road trips to the South to see my family. Everybody came up once and then they wouldn't go back to Ohio. So we went on a lot of road trips, a lot of long road trips. And we listened to a lot of music. We listened to Bonnie Raitt and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and Mark Cohn and we mixed it in with some modern pop stuff at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But we just listened to a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
And it was good music.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily like what made me want to get into guitar. It was more just like there's a sexiness to it. There's a phallicness to it.
Yeah.
And I had some really good friends in junior high or so that were really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really good guitar players. Not just like, you're good for 14. It's like, these guys were good.
Yeah.
And they got me into like Steve Vai. Like, I can remember this guy handed me the CD saying, you're just going to love it. And I did. I mean, I was jacked in.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be that. And so my brother's best friend, his name's Brad, his father was also a twin. They're from California, and they've been in bands their whole lives. And so they've got a bunch of gear, a bunch of equipment, and they knew one of the guys at the local music shop. And so I went there, and that's actually the first guitar I bought. I practiced on an acoustic that somebody from church let me borrow or something, and I just said, to hell with this. I don't want to, be Dave Matthews.
Right.
I want to be Angus,
Yeah.
I want to rock.
Yeah.
And so I bought that red Strat, and I mean, it still holds a tune. I've got it in drop C now. But that was it.
Drop C,
and so I play. I couldn't take lessons because I'm left-handed.
Yeah.
That's fine. You could take lessons, but I started to learn on right-handed guitars.
So you were playing it totally upside down.
I mean, those are right-handed guitars. If you play guitar and you're right-handed, you could pick up those guitars and play.
See, that's crazy.
Just couldn't strap them in because I've got them on the other side.
I've always wondered about that because, your high notes are at the top and your low notes are at the bottom.
Yeah.
So you're learning completely backwards.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But it made sense for me because the low notes are on the bottom, the high notes are on the top.
Yeah.
I can't reach, like a lot of the speed guys, I can't necessarily hit a lot of that. And there's some techniques that I can't do based on those limitations. But it's always made a lot more sense to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go back and learn how to drive on the right side,
Right.
It's like I wanted to improve as best as I could. I found there's a lot of really good guitar players that play like that.
Yeah.
Albert King is probably the most famous. A lot of people think Jimmy. Jimmy played left-handed strung lefty. He just played on right-handed guitars because he
could
like to break them.
Right.
But that's how I learned. I've never wanted to go backwards, and I mean I still play every day. I love it. I don't ever want to be the guy that wins any kind of awards. I don't ever want to be the best rock star of all time, but I always want to be able to rock. And there's again medicinal to it that I can't get anywhere.
I mean,
else.
in this time, I've definitely been playing. I mean, for a while there because of work, I stopped, but now I'm playing like almost every, at least one song almost every day, and so I definitely understand. Now, this sauce right here is where it starts.
Talk, man, get a beer.
All right. So this is where it starts to hit. Now it's called the garlic. Torchbearer, made by Torchbearer. It's a garlic Reaper sauce. So it's definitely gonna have the Carolina Reaper in it. Let me see. It is.
So we just took a leap.
Yeah, this is.
We just went from ghost peppers and Hawaii peppers to now we're Carolina Reapers.
Right.
Which that's a gap. Now, granted, I know ghost peppers was like the thing before Carolina Reapers.
Well, so it went ghost pepper, and then people found out about the Trinidad scorpion pepper.
There you go.
And that's the hottest naturally occurring pepper. This one is made by the same guy who makes Pepper X, or who invented Pepper X, which is supposed to be in this one, the 2 million Scoville. But he invented both of those peppers. He invented the Carolina Reaper and the Pepper X. And so I think there was some time with Pepper X where people were probably trying to see if they were going to keep the name Pepper X or if they were going to change it to something else. But, the guy's from South Carolina. That's why it's called the Carolina Reaper. This, to me, is actually, flavor-wise, really is my favorite sauce. It's just the heat. It's has great flavor, but the heat is like something that I wouldn't eat this in my everyday.
And see, another thing I wonder, and knowing that you know a little bit about cooking, a lot about cooking, with the garlic, I wonder if they use raw, or if they roast it, or toast it, or something.
Or if they're like steeping it, like we're talking about.
Raw garlic, that Allison.
I think this does have raw garlic in it, because it's a chunkier sauce. Go ahead and hit the wing with it.
Got it.
It's a chunkier sauce, but
there's the chemical compound in garlic that gives it that spiciness is Allison.
Okay.
And a lot of that is when you break the cell walls of the garlic.
Mm-hmm.
The more you cut it, the more that Allison is essentially released because you're breaking down the cell walls.
Okay.
So if you just slice a bunch of garlic, it's never going to be as potent as if you dice it really fine or you basically shred it to pieces. So, but if you use raw garlic, that Allison is much more maintained than after you cook it. So there's a lot of flavor. It's one of the most versatile ingredients in the world.
Garlic,
but when you do it raw, it gives you that sensation that you get from hot peppers.
Garlic is probably my favorite ingredient in anything ever. All right, you ready?
Let's find out.
I'm gonna kind of stir just a little bit so I can. Well, this one's where the magic happens. So now the next question is a little bit more of a personal question. Just almost I think some of the people on the team were curious about this. What's it like being one of the older people on the team? Because I don't want you to feel like you can, say it, but how old are you? I don't even know. I think I've asked you this before.
41, and I have to think about it. Damn. See, now we've gone a level.
Yeah.
Because that's got my tongue coated.
That one's a pretty huge jump. It's like a 30,000 Scoville jump to that one.
I should have thought about how I ate that because it's just my tongue.
Well, that's what I was saying when you broke them. I was like, do all these lesser sauces on the broken up ones so you get more wing. Because now I'm gonna eat a little chunk.
I'm an idiot.
Oh, you're good.
My whole tongue is just. All right, I'm 41. It's weird for me to say that out loud. I actually do have to think about it. God damn. But I don't really think about it that way. If when I was 20, if I'd have said 41, I'd be like, this is where I'll be. This is who I'll be. This is what 41 looks like. I live a life that is not indicative of what most people would think 41 is.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
I
don't care about being an older guy on the team.
And see, I admire that because even when I come to your apartment and we talk.
Shit!
And we talk about this stuff the guitars, the camping, the sex painting, you are really, not to say that other people aren't, but it's just you're a very interesting man. And then the fact that you seem to keep pretty healthy. Like my dad had me when he was 40, and I could show you a picture of what he looked like, and dude, you're a stud compared to what
I feel young. I live young. I feel young. I'm surrounded by a lot of younger people in my work life, in my personal life. I'm here.
Yeah. Now
it's there.
This next one, this is what's number 10 on the show. So you're going to be hitting a significant jump on this one. I will say 7 is pretty high.
I kind of want to just talk more about me being old.
Not ready to do the Pepper X. Now this one has, once again, I say this every time I do it. I just feel like I get repetitive, but this has peach Pepper X in it and chocolate Pepper X in it. And I do think you can actually pick up on the notes. This is another one that Hot Ones does make. I think they do a really good job with their hot sauces. So
I'm gonna shake that bad boy up.
shake it up, and you're probably gonna have to hit the back. It's a pretty thick sauce.
Oh shit.
And I will say at this point, I do have quite the urge to drink my drink.
Yeah, I know this is stupid. I just read the other day about alcohol doesn't help.
Well, in some cases, I think alcohol does help. I feel like it cuts it. What helps the worst was when we did Lance's, he had this stuff called casein. And so casein actually neutralizes capsaicin. So as soon as we were done, we took a sip of our drink and it killed the heat immediately. It was crazy.
I read about it, and I read that you're right. It's not like in almond milk or anything like that.
Yeah.
Don't you do it?
You can stop when you want. That's a pretty big dab.
But no, man. Thanks. I don't mind being the oldest on the team, or even older than a lot of people within the company. And it's funny because a lot of people, when they find out, they're like, bullshit. You know, you don't act like you don't look like you don't talk like it. Yeah. But I just don't care.
Right.
You know, I am who I am. I'm not trying to be younger. I'm not trying to be 41. I am who I am. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't weigh on me. You know, there's people have asked me, do you think that the younger guys will jump you because they're younger? And it's like, no, I mean, they hired me for a reason.
Yeah.
I know how to talk to people. I know how to sell.
Yeah.
I have a good work ethic.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I wanted to be around a place where I didn't have to carry anybody or be carried by anybody.
Right.
And that's so much what I love about this culture is that it really doesn't matter.
Right.
If you're black, white, gay, old, young, doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It's just, do you work?
Yeah.
Can you work in this environment? Are you capable of being supported and supporting other people?
Yeah.
And being yourself.
Right.
That's what drew me to this place. It's like, people want to say you should be this.
Right.
At this
They want to put
age.
you in a box.
And it's like, I've made better money.
Yeah.
I've had, bigger paying jobs. I've worked for Fortune 5s. I've owned and sold 3 companies. So it on the resume, it kind of probably looks like a step back. To me, it's like, I wanted to find what the other places told me didn't fit for me.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, because it's not about, for me, the money. Right. I've made good money.
Yeah.
I don't need money to make me feel better. I need to know that the people and the thing that I'm going to be doing for the majority of my hours of my week is going to be fulfilling.
Yeah.
Because everybody kind of says that old cliche, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah. That's
difficult to really wrap your head around.
Yeah. Well, and my favorite quote by Freud is, people try to put love into the wrong things all the time. And, of course, you try to put love into someone else. Well, that person can not love you back, not return it. You try to put love into, things that make you fill that hole, that void that you have from what he calls the womb. And so he's like, some people try to fill it with drugs, alcohol, things like that. And then he's like, the one thing that is actually healthy for you to fill that void with is your work.
Yeah.
He's like, it's the only thing you're in complete control of. So, I mean, honestly, dude, you're an inspiration to me. So, the way you live your life, I'm like, this is fucking tight. But anyway, so
you can see most of my house from here. The kitchen is here, the bedroom's there, the bathroom's that way, and the closet's much smaller than this.
Now
I've gone down in size.
Yeah.
I was the last big house I was in was about 5,000 square feet in Charlotte. And every time I've moved, I've gotten smaller and smaller.
Keep going.
I just realized I don't need the big house, the big space. I want to live where I want to live.
Yeah.
A lot of people, especially in the jobs before I had here in Atlanta before Cabbage, why don't you live out here in the country?
While you're talking, I'm going to get the charger.
Do it.
I want to make sure that...
Why don't you live further out where you can afford more space
Uh-huh.
and a bigger house. It's like, I don't need a bigger house. I don't want to live out in no man's land where the only place to go out is the local Applebee's.
Yeah.
I want to be here where I can walk to Little Five. I can walk to Candler Park. I can bike to so many other places.
Yeah, you're describing Mableton like hardcore on that thing. Let me see here. Okay.
You deposit and charge in?
Well, I don't know if we can pause it.
All right. Well, we can still charge it in.
I think we got a cord back here. All right. And so let's okay. Going on the fly here, guys.
Pull that other side up for me.
Okay, gotcha. That's probably smarter. There we go. I didn't even think to move the couch. We could have probably scooted it in.
It's all good.
Yeah,
we're working.
Good. Yep. Okay, so this next question, and actually I'll wait till we hit this wing. These next two I've asked multiple times on the show. I wonder if we should drop it down. Yeah, that's a way better shot. Sorry, guys. But anyway, so this next one. Okay, you ready? You ready to dab it?
No, but I will.
All right. Now these next two questions are, as someone who has lived a longer life than me, I am interested to know, because I'm 29, so I already have tons of things I would have done differently.
See, I don't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you're 29.
Yeah.
Again, it's a concept that's beyond me.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I know who you are, but 29 is just whatever.
Yeah. But I've had tons of things in my life that I do wish I could have done different.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything in your life that you wish you could have done differently?
Yeah, I did. But one of the best things I've ever done is learn to not, I wouldn't say live with, but focus on regret. We all have things we wish we could have done differently.
Yeah.
If you think like that, it's really hard to make yourself better. The better way to look at it is say, I messed up there. I wish I would have done something different.
You gotta learn from it.
But this is what got me to where I am.
Yeah.
What if I gain nothing from it, if I learn nothing from it, then yeah, I could regret that. But that's the decision that you regret. Not what happened, not that I wish that I would have done something else, but that I didn't learn from it.
Yeah.
Are there things that I wish I would have done different? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I don't think about them.
Yeah.
Because I used to. I would let that stuff kind of envelop me. And now it's like, I'm much...
This one.
Yeah, it's got it. It's just I got it on
it's-
the right side of my mouth, so it's all over here, and nothing on my left side.
I'm tooting my own horn a little bit right here, just cause like.
You're flexing.
Well,
You've got the experience on me.
When you watch Sean Evans do it, man. I mean, some of it is the editing, but like he'll just right into the question. So I'm trying to get better about it, but.
You think it's editing? You think he's faking it?
Well, I mean, with the Justin Timberlake one, when they did the bomb, Justin Timberlake was like, man, I'm glad to see you're having a reaction to this because they make you look Teflon on this shit, bro. And I was like, that's true, I mean, he looks, but after this is now, it's my third one for Legion. It's my fifth one total. I'm doing it with like my personal friends now. Not to say that you guys aren't my personal friends. I just mean people that are non-cabbage, and it's getting better every time. It does get better. Maybe I'm getting smarter about how I'm doing things.
Or your taste buds are going numb.
Yeah, or they're going numb. But anyway, okay. And so,
I'll finish. I don't have regrets.
Yeah.
One of the things, and I think people, you talk about Freud. I think people that think about themselves internally will eventually kind of learn those kind of lessons.
Yeah.
Again, the cabbage thing on paper may seem like a step back, but to me, this is what got me to where I wanted to be. I learned all these things from working with these bigger companies, earning more money and finding that wasn't the answer.
Right.
And not in a procured way, just like, this is it.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't necessarily look backwards. It's like, I chose to live here in Atlanta. And I chose to live in this spot in Atlanta. And I chose to work for this company and let these people into my life. That's what I look at every day that brings me the most joy is like, I made those things happen.
Yeah.
I found what works for me. Not what... It sounds cliche,
Yeah.
but not what other people told me, or not what I expected of me at this age.
Uh-huh.
It's really, I know what works for me.
Yeah.
I know what really fills my heart, brain, and soul with the most positive energy that I can.
Yeah.
And these are the things that have brought me there.
Yeah.
Good, bad, and different. This is who I am. I've never known myself better. Awareness is something I talk about a lot. Knowing what works for you.
Yeah.
Knowing how hot sauces affect you.
Yeah.
Knowing that I don't like olives, or whatever it is. Knowing who you are.
Yeah.
Knowing how you react to situations, how you handle stress. And that doesn't mean like I handle stress perfectly well every time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware that some things make me want to break shit.
Yeah.
But it's being aware and saying, that's part of me. I've done a lot of things I can do to change some behaviors, but there's still that thing in me that I just need to be aware of it.
Yeah. No,
and I've never known myself better.
Dude, Grant Morrison, he wrote Arkham Asylum. He wrote the comic book. And when it sold, he's a Scottish comic book writer for DC. When it sold, his publicist calls him. There you go.
I'm gonna.
Calls him and, she goes, hey. And he's like, hey. And she goes, you're rich. Because over the first weekend, it sold like over 1 million copies or something. And if you get $1 for every single one of those, and DC takes what, like $12 or $13 off of each comic book if they're 14. Well, he just got $1 million. So the first thing he did was he bought like pretty much he started with alcohol. So he would starting with like wine, different wines, and then moving into different, like, how does whiskey affect me? How does vodka affect me? And he would notate, obviously, like, what was going on in his brain and how he felt and, like, the different things. And he goes on to do that with every drug, too. Does, acid and morphine and a bunch of other things. So, but, yeah, no, I get you. And he did it because he's like, I want to know how this affects me and how I respond. And he just wanted to experience things. And I think that's beautiful.
That's one of the hardest things, that it's not American, it's not male, it's just culture. You're kind of taught a way the world works.
That's a good one. That's a good
Shit,
one.
I don't like you saying that.
Yeah, no, this one...
Especially the way that it's still holding shape.
Yeah.
It's more about, so many people have the way they think the world is supposed to work. It's hard to disconnect that web.
I'm going to match you.
Ah, shit.
So, this one is where, for me...
I ain't matching,
God
man.
damn it.
That's a match. You better put some more on mine.
No. That's fine.
Oh, my nose.
I think we're at a good amount here. All right, you ready? Now, this one is, for me, this one has better flavor, but very similar heat. This one's just horrible. But this
Don't
one...
tell me that.
But here we go.
Now that I didn't know.
You ready?
Because we're at a level now. These are leaving effects.
See, I'm probably going to start...
These didn't until we started getting here. And now... Those are just sitting there.
Yeah, it's definitely sticking around. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
This one also has a delay on it, so be careful.
But right now, bright, cherry, vinegar.
Yeah.
And then I just inhaled, and now it's in here.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that one's hitting. All right. And on this one, we'll probably just do the reaction. The 10th and final question I got for him, and this is just what I like to ask everybody, because I just want to know, man, what's the happiest you've ever been in your entire life?
Right now.
Oh my God, what an honor. Jesus
No
Christ.
doubt about it. I love where I live. I love being in Atlanta. I love this town. I love the big city. I love I love a lot of things. I love, shit.
Yeah, this one's...
I love restaurants. I love good chefs. I love breweries and good beer.
Yeah.
I love the arts. I love lots of different kinds of music. I love to get up. God. Classic. Yeah, that's a slow one, but
I'm telling you,
it goes.
It takes forever. Now that other one that me and Serge did, that's the level 4 version of this. That one had the most insane delay I've ever had. It was like we did it and we sat there for a while. We were like, oh man, that ain't shit. And then all of a sudden, it just kept coming.
If I said, I'd be contradicting myself if I said anything else other than that, right? If I said, oh, the happiest I was 10 years ago. No, man, I love where I am.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome, man. I love that answer.
I love...
Not just because I'm here with you right now, but that just makes me really happy.
So much of it is... Oh, God damn!
Yeah.
So much of it is the awareness. I see where I came from. I see how I've grown. I see what I've learned. I didn't learn shit from this.
Now that... This is
But I chose to be here.
Yeah.
I chose to be in this smaller house because it fits me. I chose to be in this location, in this part of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Because it suits me. I chose to be in Atlanta in the first place because it suits me.
Yeah. No, I feel it, man. All right, you ready? You ready to do it?
No, fuck no, I'm not ready. I need a minute. You got any other 8 questions before I get to this?
Oh man, I mean,
I'm eating this undone, boy. Actually, I'm gonna do some ranch.
you're gonna do some ranch?
Or whatever the hell this white is.
Oh man,
God.
I know. It's like,
And I can tell where it hit
yeah,
and didn't hit. I clearly got some on my lip.
I did too. Be careful. Also, be careful around your eyes. I've almost touched my eyes 4 times now. So yeah, this one's just I mean, there's nothing else you can say other than it's just bad, man. It's gonna be a bad.
You say that. You put a measurement on your wing there. Whew.
And see, what's crazy, as we talk about, is once again we're according to actual Scovilles, we're descending right now. This is supposed to be 210,000. This is at 136,000. But this one fucks everybody up. Serge is probably watching this, being like, "It didn't fuck me up," but you definitely had a reaction to it. But the bomb, what we were discussing about who these people are making the sauces. Their goal is there is no flavor. They don't want you to enjoy this. This is purely for people who just want to beat their chest.
When you get into 6 figures of Scoville unit.
Yeah. This is literally for people that just want to be like, I got the bomb. I'm doing this thing, So
I can't feel the top of my mouth.
yeah, I mean this one's hot, but this one's not fun. And I've been testing a theory as we go, where it's like
Kansas.
yeah, Kansas.
God.
There's nothing else to do out in Kansas except for burn your fucking tongue up.
But again, it's curious because it's habaneros.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not, yeah, there's like a
Reapers.
a Reaper or a fucking
Trinidad.
Yeah. It's definitely weird.
That one's getting worse.
But you'll taste this one when you do it. This one is more of a chemical heat to me. It feels like almost, I don't want to say artificial heat, but I think that's why it's worse.
So it's the benzene and methamphetamine that does the trick. I can't even get the word out.
Yeah.
The top of my mouth is not tingling. It's numb. I don't feel it touching my tongue. God, Cam.
Yeah, this one, if you smell it, it smells horrible. It tastes horrible. Oh god.
It's a weapon, right?
Yeah, this one's bad. This one's really bad. So, anyway.
I'm gonna let you do me.
Okay.
Because you got a good little dose on there. I don't want to. And you did it.
Yeah. This one is because thick sauce, thick sauce, and then this one kind of flows pretty.
Like blood?
Yeah.
Like drying blood?
Fuck, I touched it.
It looks like.
Alright.
Your wash?
Yeah. There we go. All right, you ready?
No, I'm not.
It's better. It's like ripping off a band.
I know.
Okay, here we go.
I'm doing it because you're doing it with me. Let's go.
I hate this one. I bet. Oh god. I bet Sean Evans. I think he hates this one too. I think me and him probably both hate it. I'd save myself a little shred just so I can put it on my tongue afterwards. Man, all right, Bennett, we're at the top of Spice Mountain. Look at us.
Look at this. Who'd have thought, huh?
Who'd have thought? Not me.
Not me.
This camera, this camera, this camera. Tell the folks how you're staying sane during and we've kind of talked about it, but staying sane during this whole quarantine. Are you just up in things that you're making, like the hot sauce, learning how
I don't feel very sane right now.
No.
Best thing for me. God!
It's so bad.
Let's get worse.
It does. I'm about to actually, you can't tell, but I'm about to sweat. Oh man. This one's bad. I'm glad you got those French fries. That's gonna come in handy.
You know some?
Yeah, we're gonna get some.
But
anyway.
The best thing. Shit, that's such a different level. Oh my god.
Careful around the eyes.
Take it day by day.
That tongue is so numb.
I know. I cannot wait to drink this drink. I'm still undefeated. I want to, but I am gonna chug this drink
Day by day.
Yep.
I don't try to focus on what day it is.
Yep.
If I didn't do enough, if I didn't learn a new language, I'm staying active. I'm getting up before the sun comes up.
Yeah.
I run or walk. I do yoga, meditate, and then I watch a movie.
Nice.
While the sun comes.
Yeah.
It's just that weight.
Yeah.
It's the you don't feel it coming.
I don't even
And then
like
it's there.
touch my tongue to like anything. I'm like just holding it. Yeah.
And it feels like it's oil.
Yeah.
It's like coating everything.
Yeah. So when we did the other one, which once again, super glad you
Shit.
didn't want to do it because that one, it's like this one, it really is like this is number 2 and that one's number 4. It really is like times 4. It's so bad. But anyway,
Take everything day by day.
cool.
Step by step. Get through each day. Don't worry about if I did enough
Yeah.
or not enough. Just go day by day.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to make it.
Oh, you made it. We did it. All right, guys. Well, we got Bennett, and
You got me all right.
I think next one is Davita.
Ooh,
I'll
I got
definitely
it.
All right, we'll catch y'all later.